don't want to say else about this album really, other than it's just very good to masturbate over, and it's very just amazing. So yeah, that's it really. I don't want to repeat myself and keep saying, to you the same thing that I masturbated over this track and I masturbated over that track. I masturbated over Burn definitely. Burn was a good track. That one I just Prometheus. I did masturbate over that quite a lot too, and yeah, it's a pretty sexy album. It's just listen to it, you'll know what I mean, and that's it really.
All right, now my number two is actually from a band. I just seen them very recently. Also, they, they actually played a lot from this record when I seen them. Their fucking Corpse Paint was so fucking awesome looking when I seen them. Amazing, amazing band. Yet again, another band I've listened to for quite a while. This band is another band that their last record was probably, I'd say, their weakest one in their arsenal. Because they were constantly putting out new record every single year. Like, this is the only time they've actually skipped a year, since they really started going. They're releasing records and all amazing, amazing stuff. They're definitely 100% the kings of Black and Death. They're 100% the kings. Behemoth moved out the door. Say bye-bye to Behemoth. If you have not listened to the band Belphegor and you like Black and Death, you have done yourself a grave, grave, grave injustice.
I've listened to
This
that.
fucking band with The Conjuring the Dead is definitely by far one of their best records they have put out in so long. And all their other records were amazing too. You know, but this record they have just topped themselves. Like they've gone to another level. And this is another reason why Behemoth is definitely kicked off the list is because of Belphegor. I love Belphegor since I found them, and I'm like, oh my god, this band's amazing. Now, some of their records, very, very, very early records, they're more death metal, and then they switched and they started doing more black metal stuff, and then they hit a straight dead in the middle of the road, the absolute perfect combo of black and death metal mixed together. It's not like one overrides the other. In some of the records, okay, some of the records are more black metal, some of the records more death metal, so on and so forth. But they found that exact type. I
They
just
found
the
their
blend.
sound basically.
Yeah, exactly. They have perfectly found out how to blend these two together. Behemoth, I would pretty much just straight there, put them straight as death metal anymore. They're very, very, very smidgel of black metal thrown in there. They're more death metal than anything. Belphegor, they're amazing. The drummers they always change drummers every single record. I don't know why they do it. I guess to give it a new kind of flair to it, a new flavor to it. But every record is very unique.
They're like saying to their new drummer, like, yeah, you could join us, but you know what happens after you've recorded the album, don't you? You have to go
Well, they
there.
have to go. They have to go on tour. So until they finish up that tour, drummers there, and they always get amazing drummers. If you've been a drummer on one of the Belphegor albums, you are definitely one of the best fucking drummers. They don't get shit. They only take the best of the best of the best. So I mean, it's pretty much I would consider it to be an honor if
Phil
you know.
Collins.
But this record from start to finish is an amazing record. Lots of very catchy riffs in here. A lot of very catchy songs. I have to say that the best song in the whole record absolutely has to be the last track on the record. It is truly amazing, and especially it's like it starts out, it's like order and then chaos. It's that's pretty much the only real way to describe the whole record. Some tracks are very chaotic, very chaos. You get a good pick going for these songs, and then some of the songs, they might start nice and soft and peaceful, then boom, punch in your fucking face.
It's like when you're
That's
sleeping and you just like, nice and peaceful, and someone comes in and smashes your face in and wakes you up. You
yeah,
know,
with like a barbed wire baseball bat across your face with some of these tracks. You're just like, holy shit!
See, I wish I'd listened to this album more, but it's like, you can't really put an album on your list until you've really listened to it enough. So, because you told me about this like the last second, and I have been pretty busy and I haven't had a chance to listen to everything. It is rather annoying because I would have liked to have like listened to it more, and then this would have made it on the list possibly, and if it's as good as you say it is, obviously. So I listened to a few songs and I was getting into them, but it's like I have to listen to obviously all of it really, and
Yeah.
give it a, because it's one of the things you have to give it a good listen before you can then
Yeah, this
decide.
is one of the records that you're gonna have to listen to multiple times over through. It was amazing. Like I say, I'm a huge Belphegor fan, and seeing them live was just like it was amazing. That was the only one of the main reasons why I went to Loud Park this year was because they were there and it was their first show in Japan. So and it was amazing. They had a fucking amazing set list. The corpse paint was so sick looking. Pits were fucking sick, you know. And this new album is no exception. This just straight up amazing from start to finish, you know.
The
So
main
what
question
else?
is, could I masturbate over it?
Yeah, you could. Yes.
That's good
Yeah.
then. I'm going to
Yes.
give that a good listen and a proper one. And
All right. Anyways, let's move on to the finale of this
okay, hang on a
month.
sec. Okay, we're back, and you can't see me.
The great freeze. I'm like,
Yeah, we kind of have to.
ah!
That was amazing, but
You're like, wait, is it frozen? No, don't be frozen. It's like,
It's like,
surprise, not
connection problem, no. But yeah, like that's one thing. If in real life you're around someone, they'll never
Yeah.
get a connection problem or anything because that wouldn't happen. But then, obviously on Skype and stuff like this, you don't get that. So
Yeah.
that is one problem with Skype. But yeah, getting on to relevant stuff. We're already 49 minutes in, and well, I mean 49 seconds in, and I haven't even explained it yet, and I'm still dragging it on now. I'm just trying to like annoy you in a way and troll you. I'm trolling you, but I'm kind of like building up to this number one spot, So shall I get on with it?
Guess get along with it.
I think I should go to the toilet first. No, alright. So, number one, Mayhem, Esoteric Warfare. And, yeah, this is why it's number one for me. Because I just really like the sound that they've got going. And I just really like this heavy, morbid, black metal. He's dying, he sounds like he's fucking dying when he's singing, and it just
Personally,
sounds.
I think it's one of his best vocal performances he's done until it's done in a while.
I know, it was just like.
It's so intense. The vocals are just so intense, and,
I literally masturbated over every track. Here we go. I, I especially, love Trinity. I thought that track was pretty sexy. I masturbated over that quite a lot. And shouldn't I be pretty serious about this last one at least?
Yeah, come on.
Alright, so all in all, it was just really heavy. It was just evil, and it was fast. It was ferocious. There was an atmosphere brought into this that I didn't hear from any other Mayhem album. I think because the quality was decent, but it wasn't overdone. It was right, and because of the production and the way it was.
Perfect the way, like depending on the band, some they could have done a little more like actually no, this record no, they couldn't have done any the production couldn't be any worse because then you would miss something, like it was recorded absolutely perfect.
It was, yeah, because black metal obviously everyone knows it's not really a genre that people focus on making the quality, because that is the way the genre is. It's meant to sound rough, and it's not meant to have that, perfect quality. But this, it's got it's got that element in, but then it's got a perfect production, where you can hear that, you can hear some of the music and going into it, that, on time. There's a lot of good timing parts on here, a lot of great drumming that, I really admired. I really, really liked the drumming on this album. I thought that his
Yeah.
his skills and just, the way.
They definitely up their skills as far as like guitar playing. The guitar playing is probably one of the most technical they've done in any of the records. This is probably their most technical
But it
record.
was eerie as well at times. It was so eerie that I literally, I wanted to listen to it when it was dark, and I was on my own, because I thought this would be a perfect time to listen to it. This is an album you listen to on your own, at night time when there's no one about, and you just let that eeriness take in, and I just love it. It's it literally, to me, makes me want to, like, orgasm. And all right, I'll stop it. I'll stop it with. But no, honestly, it was a brilliant album, and that's why it's number one. And I'm just really happy that Mayhem did this, and I hope that they make another album like this, because there was a sound on this that I haven't heard in ages from any band, and the production just, it was great. I'm just so glad that, this album was created, and if it wasn't, then 2014 would not have been the same without it. So yeah,
Perfect. Okay. All right. Anyways, I'll do my number one. My number one's actually a tie. Um,
it's a tie. Do you wear it?
no, I couldn't pick one over the other to be number one. So, and the other album I listened to very very recently, because I was actually listening to some of their other stuff, and I dawned on me. I remember, wait, there's a new album coming out. When the fuck is that coming out? Oh shit! And I went to check, and it was already out. So I'm like, fuck. So I went and rushed and got it, and then I listened to it religiously, and it just completely blew me away every single time I listened to it. But let's go on with my first pick for number one has to be yet again another band I've been listening to for a very long time, and that's quite the recurring theme of this of the year. It's a lot of bands putting out great records, and this is definitely my number one as far as technical goes. It's definitely my number one, and it's my number one album of the year. Well, let's tie with the other band, and that's Dark Fortress with Visceral Dawn. This record, if you like the last record, you will really like the new one. If you're looking for a more of like an earlier kind of mid, like Seance, if you're looking for that, something like that, you're not going to find it on this record. Seance was a very, very eerie record, and this is definitely a record that gives some people nightmares.
I want to listen to this now.
They used like actual sounds that they got from ESPs from like Ghost, on the record, so this added atmosphere to the record, but this new record, like perfectly he blends, clean vocals with the grim black metal vocals, and some songs that are acoustic, and they threw in the, but they've always kind of done that, they're kind of acoustic, and kick on with some black metal with it, after it, and they're a band that very much have influenced me a lot, especially writing my new album.
I think I was ignorant to this album because I only listened to like a couple of tracks, and they were just random ones that I clicked on, and then I left it at that. So I think that I should have listened to the whole album, and
yeah,
I think
this is a record that you're gonna need multiple listens to, because there's just so much stuff going on in the record, and the more I listened to it, the more I loved it. I was like, I first heard it, I'm like, oh my god, this is definitely within my top 5 albums. The next listen to, I was like, I like it a little bit more, so maybe I'll put it number 3. And then let's do a little more. So I'm like, fuck this shit, it's number 1. Boom, number 1. It's an amazing record. It almost like almost transcends black metal. Like it's more than just another black metal record. It transcends it, you know. So, but it's nonetheless it's an amazing record, start to finish. It's the one if you only pick up one black metal record this year, this is definitely the record to pick up. If you're gonna pick up one record this year, well, you might want to weigh out your options between this and my other tie for number one, because this is the first time I've had to do this where I've had to do a tie, because I couldn't pick one or the other because both the albums are truly amazing. And the other band that I have that is absolutely number one album of the year is another band. I haven't listened to too long. I've listened to it for a decent amount of time. None of the records have disappointed me at all. You know, I'm not even going to attempt to say the name of any of their songs because I'm going to fucking butcher them because they're all in, you know, Swedish. But I'm pretty sure I may even say the band name wrong. But Vindersarg is a fucking amazing, you know, Viking / folk metal band. You know, they incorporate, you know, the Viking style vocals, and they'll incorporate, you know, some death metal style vocals, and they're with, you know, the gutturals, you know, and it'll be with the cleans, and they'll come in with the, you know, the gutturals, you know, and it's amazing. It's an amazing record, start to finish. Like this is a record that if you have something else going on and you put on this record, you'll stop doing whatever you're doing and focus on just the record. Because I was listening to it, I was at work and I was listening to it, and I found myself stop what I'm doing and just focus on the record, and I'll be like, oh shit, you know, like I had to fucking change, and I couldn't listen to the album at work because it's just so good. And it's definitely an album that requires multiple listens to, because there's so much stuff going on. There's so many layers of just sheer awesomeness. It's just, there's no other words to describe this record other than I don't know which one I'd say I like more, because I like them both equally. You know, it's between the Dark Fortress and the Vindersarg album, or Wintersarg, or however you fucking say their name. I'm not sure, but it's spelled with a V. I can tell you that. It's like a winter storm or something. I do recall. I think not 100% correct. I'd have to look it up. But like I said, most of their stuff's in Swedish, so you know, basically you have to look for translations. You know, but even though, you know, like me, you don't really speak Swedish at all, you can still enjoy the record. You know, it's still an amazing record. The music is just amazing, start to finish. It's just it's words can't describe this record. It's too good, and it's not a record that you want to skip around. Or, okay, maybe check out this song. No, you have to start. The first track is probably the most heaviest track on the record. Like, it has almost a black metal feel to it. You know, they have insane blast beats. You know, they kick it on with insane blast beats and this fucking just gutturalness, and just it was so awesome. And then it kicks on with the folk metal stuff, and it's, oh my god, it's and then. So the first and the last track are probably my absolute favorite. Now, it's not to say the rest of the tracks are fucking bad or just fillers. No. They're all equally just as good. But if I had to pick, I would say the first and the last track on the record are probably my favorite. You know, the reason why is first track, you know, kicks off, and it kicks off just a punch in your face, you know, straight up blast beats, and, you know, and then the last track is very soothing. You know, it also has brutality, just like every single song. You know, they have this perfect formula to go between beauty and melody to brutality, and then back to beauty and melody, and that's the only thing I can really describe about the record. You know,
can I masturbate over it?
I do really pronounce Nibelus or Nablus, or I'm going to say sure I probably butchered it. I'm sorry. Like I said, I don't speak Swedish at all, so. But I do listen to the record, and I do listen to Vindersarg stuff. They're an amazing band. They never disappointed me with any of their records. I don't think I've listened to everything. I think there might be maybe one, maybe two records I haven't heard from them. But most part of the catalog's very solid. You know, it's a band I definitely would highly recommend to anybody. Even if you're not a big fan of, like, you know, the death metal guttural vocals, there's quite a few albums where they have very, 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 very little bit of that on there. But what can I say? Vindersarg?
Definitely something you should check out if it's number one on the Metal Gods, you know, list. I didn't check it out, but I will get to that. and I think I'm going to have a lot of regret not listening to certain albums here, and
Yeah, this especially that Winter Song. You're gonna listen, you're gonna be like, you're gonna want to smack yourself in the face. You're gonna be like, oh my god, this album's amazing. There you
that
go. That's the top 14 albums of 2014. Now, we'll get on to the very last part as to talk about what records we are really, really, really excited for next year.
yeah, we will, and I'm gonna say this first: that Slayer and Slayer and Slayer.
Yes. You know, it's my list too. How'd you know this? But no, I really am thoroughly. The new Slayer record is. I'm anticipating this like people do the Second Coming of Christ. All right, okay. I've heard the new track. It was fucking amazing. But another album that's possibly could be contender for album of the year. I mean, like, of course, new Slayer record. Of course, I'm
Is it Niall
you know.
releasing a new album too?
But anyways,
It's Niall, like the death metal band Niall. Yeah, they are.
yes, they are. That's another album.
Yes.
Another one definitely really looking forward to. The last records have all the records have been amazing. So another band I look forward to as well.
God, they've got to stop giving me so much porn. It's ridiculous the amount of porn I'm getting these days. You know, next year I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a.
And then definitely one that they haven't put out a record in a long while. And it's yet again another band I've been into for a very long time. You know, when I first heard this band, I mean, I swear I thought like Satan himself came out from the depths of hell and said, "All right, this is what you will play on guitar. This is what you will play on bass. This is your lyrics." Like Satan himself wrote all their stuff, and it was just amazing. But they got 2 new members in the band. You know, they got a new vocalist, and they got and they have really like pushed themselves to the limit. I'm not sure. I mean, I sent you links to the song. I haven't checked it out or not yet, but
I
Dark
did.
Funeral.
Yeah, I checked that. I checked that out. Yeah.
Dark Funeral was just mind-blowingly awesome. It was straight up just ungodly brutality, darkness. The way Dark Fortress. Not Dark Fortress. Dark Funeral. Too many band names named Dark. God damn it!
There's like, so many bands with the name Dark.
The name Little.
Little Wayne, Little Kim. How many other littles are there?
There's like the list is like mile long. Like if I had to shoot a paper, roll it off, it'd be like it would be like from here to fucking New York City and shit. Not in Japan,
Imagine if you combine it together, Little Dark Fortress, like the gangster version.
Like making a rap black metal. No, that sounds terrible. But yeah, the new Dark Funeral song, if you haven't checked it out, I highly, highly, highly recommend checking out the song. That's definitely by far my song of the year. And I mean, I've heard the new Slayer song. It was awesome. But the new Dark Funeral song, damn. Dark Funeral
Implode made me explode from my penis.
It's truly, oh my God. It just blows your fucking mind. I mean, those are definitely my top picks, and definitely the New Testament. I'm really looking forward to the New Testament. Their last record was really good, but definitely top of my list is definitely Slayer, Dark Funeral, and Nile. Those are the top 3. And if the rest of the record for Dark Funeral is just as good as that song, as the first single that's out, I really don't know who's going to be number 1. It's going to be close.
I know this. Metallica are on.
Yeah, I know Metallica's coming out with a new one, and I'm curious. I'm curious because the new song was pretty decent. It was definitely one of the best things they've done in the last 20 years.
Well, there's only so much Metallica can really do now because Lars is so shit at the drums that only limits, because James is a talented guitarist and singer, and I really think that Lars kind of just ruins it for the other members.
Really holds them back.
I mean, the bassist, I can't pronounce his last name, Rob Truge.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's good. Kurt Hammett's fucking shit. Every guitar solo sounds the same.
They really should just fucking kick him out. Get fucking Dave Mustaine back in the band. Get Dave Lombardo on fucking drums.
Yeah. They have all these Daves back in the band, even though Dave
Yeah, exactly.
Lombardo was never in the
Dave
band
Mustaine
in the
back in the
first
mix. I mean,
place.
they got fucking he's got nobody left to make it up except for David Ellison. And bring Dave Mustaine back in Metallica. Kick Kirk and fucking Lars out. Kick them out. I'd say they probably would be making, because I know last time I seen him, Lars looked like he was about to die playing like old songs. Like they would play like one kind of fast song, and then they'd have to take like a fucking 2-hour break. Christ, how fucking long are you taking, Lars? Fucking Jesus Christ! He had like 2-3 fans blowing on his ass too when he's doing drums.
It's because he doesn't practice, and he doesn't, like, in order to be able to, keep up with what you're doing, and he's got no stamina, and, you need to create that stamina, you need to build that, and that takes...
You got drummers that are just as old as Lars. I mean, take for instance, Dave Lombardo. Dave Lombardo's just as old as fucking goddamn Lars, but yet he plays Slayer, which is arguably a fuck ton faster, and requires way more stamina than fucking playing any Metallica song. Now, yes, Metallica has longer songs, but their songs are relatively a lot slower, with the exception of a few. They're kind of fast, but no, they've never wrote anything as fast as Slayer has. And you look, Dave Lombardo, I've seen Slayer half a dozen million times, and Dave Lombardo never even broke a sweat, and he didn't have a fan blowing on him either. He even broke a sweat. Hellhammer, I just seen Mayhem. It was very early this year. I've seen Mayhem, and Hellhammer is fucking ungodly faster than Lars. Just almost as old as Lars, but yet he's way more technical, way faster, blows fucking Lars out of the goddamn water. It's like comparing a fucking a beginner. It's like comparing a fucking 5-year-old who's playing drums to a fucking expert.
It's like comparing a snail to Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, there you go. There,
You know what I wished? I wished that the drummer from Nile was in every band.
Well, no, you got Hellhammer, you have Inferno, you have Nick Barker. They're all amazing drummers, and they're almost all just as old as Lars. They're all way more technical, way more talented, way faster than anything Lars could ever dream to do. Like, if he tried, he would pass out.
I mean, I'm not saying, like, in a way, it's good that every band has a drummer that have their own style and their own way of playing, because that would then make the band, them, because they bring a certain element that maybe another drummer couldn't. So yeah. I'm kind of contradicting myself, because I said that I'd like Niall to be like, but you know what I mean. I mean, yeah. It's just like, I'd like, let's say, like, someone at Niall's level to be playing for Metallica, because let's face it, what does Lars offer? He offers the same annoying drum beat.
Yeah.
For near enough every song, and they'll just slightly speed it up so it sounds different and hit maybe a cymbal at the same time, and it's like...
Oh, I could play drums for Metallica and I would do a better job. But of course, I'm also not as old as Lars. I'm quite a bit younger than Lars. But I'm pretty damn sure I could play drums for Metallica.
My nan could, and she, has had to have operations for her hands because, she's had problems with her hands. She could still play it better than Lars by miles.
All right, anyways, let's just go and end this on that note. And this is the Metal God 666 here. So I'll tell you guys, keep it metal.
Yeah. See you later, guys. And I hope you enjoyed. He's out. I'm in your mom's vaginas. Alright, let's end it.